And we begin tonight with education as the state education department released scores from end of course test results today. The scores show students are failing 3 out of 5 subjects on the exam. News 19's Peyton Lewis takes a closer look at those numbers.
The end-of-course examination and the ready-to-work programs for high school students are showing failing scores for students from the 2022 school year. For the end-of-course test taken at the end of each school year, high school students are evaluated in Algebra 1, English 1 and 2, Biology 1, and U.S. History. The scores that were released by the State Department of Education show improved but still failing scores in biology, algebra, and history.
Parents should look at those tests as almost like a gateway course to the next level.
They're judged on a 100-point scale. This year, students scored an average of 68 in algebra, a 66 in biology, a 76 in English 2, and a 65 in U.S. history. These scores make up 20% of a student's final grade in the subject's class. So if a student has a passing score of an 80 in their algebra class but scores a 50% on their end-of-course test, it will drop their final grade to a 74 in the class. Patrick Kelly, a high school U.S. history teacher who's also with the Palmetto Teachers Association, says he sees his students day to day and that these tests are not always the best way to see how students are performing in a certain subject.
While we get a numeric score for a student, we don't get any disaggregation of that data. So for example, if a student on the U.S. history end of course exam scores a 90, as the teacher, I don't know where that 10% came from.
He says to see true improvement, the state doesn't need to adjust the test, but the classroom environment.
Moving forward, if we want student achievement to improve, we've got to give students access to high quality instruction. That can look in the form of solving our educator shortage in this state.
We also spoke with David Mathis, the Deputy Superintendent of College and Career Readiness at the State Department of Education. He says the state is looking at how they can improve student assessments moving forward.
When done well, I think some of the best assessments are our teacher-made assessments. They know what they're targeting with their students, and so then they're able to get some very good information.
Reporting in Columbia, Peyton Lewis, News 19 WLTX.
And next month, reading and math numbers will be released. This will be reported on a state level, so South Carolina can see how they compare with other states' education systems.